Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're putting on our security expert hats to conduct a really rigorous after-action report. Our focus? The April 25th, 2026 White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. We're going to unravel the whole shebang, the cascading intelligence failures, the physical breaches, and the incredibly chaotic digital fallout of this event. Okay, let's dive right in. Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe noted that security for this dinner was almost on the level of a national security event. And, that makes perfect sense, right? You literally have the president, the vice president, and numerous cabinet members all concentrated in one single room. So the absolute crucial question we have to ask ourselves right off the bat is this. If security was truly locked down that tight for a room full of the nation's top executives, how on earth did a heavily armed man get within mere feet of the ballroom? To figure that out, let's quickly map out our agenda. We'll evaluate the venue itself, identify the perimeter lapses, break down the actual breach, profile our threat actor, analyze the digital fallout, and finally, look at how we secure future events. Section 1. Evaluating the Washington Hilton, a historical vulnerability. So, the Washington Hilton has a seriously notorious legacy in the world of protective security. Back in 1981, it was the site of the assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan, which actually earned it the dark nickname, the Hinckley Hilton. Fast forward to 2026, and it's like history is repeating itself. This really highlights a massive, long-documented vulnerability we face. The incredible difficulty of balancing a functioning, open-to-the-public hotel with the absolute zero-fail mission of executive protection. Section 2. Lapses in perimeter security, the vulnerability matrix. Okay, how exactly did the protocols fall short that night? Well, there were 3 critical failures. First, the hotel lobby remained completely open to the non-event public. For protection detail, an open lobby introduces hundreds of totally unpredictable variables and unvetted individuals right into your operational zone. It's an absolute nightmare. Second, despite the massive concentration of government officials, the highest national security designation was inexplicably not invoked. And third, the ultimate fatal flaw here, back stairwells connecting the guest floors directly down to the ballroom area were left entirely unguarded. Standard hotel operations clash dangerously with national security. Section 3. Anatomy of the breach. Timeline of the incident. Let's walk through this rapid sequence, minute by minute. At 8 p.m., the suspect, who, by the way, had just booked a room like a regular hotel guest, takes a mere selfie equipped with his weapons and simply walks down that unguarded back stairwell we just talked about. Boom! He completely bypasses the outer security perimeters. At 8:30 p.m., he emails a manifesto titled Apology and Explanation to his family. Just 6 minutes later, at 8:36 p.m., he sprints past the main security magnetometer checkpoint right outside the ballroom. Think about that. In just 36 minutes, a supposedly normal guest became an active threat at the absolute inner ring of a presidential event. Now, this suspect was heavily armed. We're talking a 12-gauge shotgun, a .38 pistol, multiple knives. But in a stroke of sheer luck, this massive crisis was actually thwarted by a tripping hazard. Seriously, sprinting at 9 miles per hour, he tripped right over a magnetometer, just a standard metal detector box. He fired one wild round before the Secret Service immediately tackled him to the ground. He basically ended up with nothing but a bruised knee from his own clumsy fall. It's crazy to think about, but an assassination attempt was thwarted in part by a piece of security equipment just acting as a physical hurdle. Section 4. Profile of a threat actor. The duality of Cole Thomas Allen. Let's pivot from the physical breach and look at exactly who we are dealing with. The duality of this suspect is really striking, and unfortunately it fits a growing pattern. On one hand, you've got a 31-year-old Caltech-educated tutor who literally won a Teacher of the Month award. 0 prior criminal record. Everyone described him as stable and quiet. But then, on the other hand, he kept hidden caches of firearms at his parents' home, was tied to a radicalized Connecticut-based group called the Wide Awakes, and authored an anti-government manifesto claiming to be the friendly federal assassin. This right here is the modern intelligence nightmare, a lone wolf threat hiding perfectly behind a very normal, successful academic facade. Section 5. The digital misinformation fallout. A secondary security failure. Because today, a physical breach is literally only half the battle. The second shots are fired, the digital fallout begins. This is that rapid, viral spread of conspiracy theories right after a crisis. It's driven by this profound loss of trust in our institutions, and it's totally supercharged by starkly partisan algorithms. This stuff spreads faster than law enforcement can even type up a press release in those critical first few hours. And we saw reality instantly fracture across the political spectrum. Over on the left, conspiracy theories falsely claimed the entire event was just staged for political gain, taking a recent shots fired joke made by Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and totally twisting it. Meanwhile, right-wing conspiracy theories started circulating fake claims that the suspect was wearing an IDF sweatshirt, and even spread viral AI-generated forged passports of a supposed Indian wife. Both sides just completely warped a terrifying physical reality to fit their own preconceived partisan narratives, ignoring the actual established facts of the breach. As a student of this data, it's fascinating, but honestly, it's really alarming to see how fast the truth gets lost. Section 6. Securing future high-profile events. Protocol recommendations. So we have to turn these failures into actionable intelligence. How do we fix this? Number 1, we absolutely must mandate highest security level designations for any event with a concentrated cabinet presence, regardless of how the venue usually operates. Number 2, completely restrict venue access to the non-event public. No regular hotel guests wandering the lobby and introducing unvetted variables. Period. And number 3, secure all secondary access routes. If there's a back stairwell connecting guest rooms to a secure perimeter, there needs to be a badge-checking agent standing right there. Which brings us to our final and maybe most difficult thought. Can public accessibility to political figures ever truly coexist with the realities of modern protective security? It's a massive trade-off, right? We're trying to balance maintaining an open society with ensuring absolute safety. But if the Washington Hilton breach taught us anything, it's that the gap between secure enough and a total national tragedy is sometimes as small as an unguarded hotel stairwell and a tripped-over metal detector. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this structured look helped you untangle the incredibly complex layers of modern security. Catch you next time.